Hello, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful day in the SpeedGaming Live Qualifier Tournament. We are Mr. Scruff, the Ninja Tuna, and Koi. How you doing today, Koi?
I'm doing all right. It looks like our runners, they just really wanted to get started. Couldn't even wait for us.
Right? How rude.
This is the 11th tournament qualifier for the upcoming SG Live tournament in October. This tournament is to determine seeding for those going to the tournament, which will take place in a location. I don't have that information, I'm sorry.
If only there were a way to get that location.
Maybe the !SG Live command.
But would such a thing be real?
Perhaps. So Kern is definitely going to win the race. He already has the boots, right?
Oh yeah. That's
wait a minute.
Like...
Wait a minute. No. Right. Okay. Yes. He does have the boots. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's going fast. That
going fast.
Or Kern just has a lot of gas. And that's not dust that he's leaving behind.
Where were the boots? Did his uncle start? Did uncle start pay off?
Maybe.
Boyne, meanwhile, doing South Shore like way sooner than anybody actually wants to do South Shore. Probably going to do a Gina after this because he doesn't really have the bombs to do Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want more than 3.
You can do it with 3. Like, well, I guess you do it with 2. Yeah, that'd be rough.
Oh, yeah. Now, as far as our pendant crystal placement goes, the one I did catch was up on Tower of Hera. We've got the number 1 crystal. Didn't see the other 2.
Looks like the trackers marked Desert as a 5/6 crystal, and Eastern as a green pendant.
And it didn't look like Lumberjack had anything of use, so I don't think we're going to have to do Agate today unless, it wants to be mean.
Yeah, there's lots of different reasons you could be forced to do Agate, Lumberjack only being one of them.
Of course.
But this is... Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Just saying that Dark World Access is, of course, the biggie.
Oh, yeah. That's the most common reason to have to do Agate. But this is an open, no hints race. Otherwise, just normal seed. Cassidy Mohn finding a sword and silver arrows in Sahasra's side. Wow.
Really good early find. I mean, you can't really use those silvers until you go find the bow, but it's good.
Yeah, so Sahasra is pretty much considered like super out of the way for a lot of runners because it's so close to Eastern and you feel pressure to go into Eastern without the bow, which can be a serious punish. But Blaine, who really hates Kakariko clearly, is going to go do it anyway. Or did he already? He might have already done Kakariko, and I just wasn't paying attention. This is what happens when the runners start without us.
Right? We just don't have time to prep. The 20 minutes just go flying by.
Cassidy's sword paying off big, though. He is able to do Mini Moldorm Cave that Blaine left behind.
Looks like we get bombs, bombos, some vampire skewers, ooh, that hammer, and Zora money.
And Blaine also saving quits after Sahasra. I guess he's probably going to go to Mini Moldorm now. Nope, now it's time for the uncle.
Very nice.
With the weapon, though, he'll also be able to do the front of escape, which we haven't seen yet, and could definitely pay off big.
And it did look like Kern picked up the mirror at some point, so that's some good utility right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure. So, we see all these runners, like, not doing Kakariko, which, feels weird because Kakariko is, like, 1,000 checks, and there's always something there, right? But there are a few different reasons for doing this. There's the flute and the bottle. Both are things that it would be very, very nice if you could check Sick Kid and activate your flute on your very first trip to Kakariko. So I do expect to see all of our runners go to Kakariko eventually. We're just putting it off for a little bit, hoping to find those extra items to make it just a little bit more efficient.
Very true. Because honestly, the only thing of value so far that we know is actually going to be good is the mirror. Because, yeah, Medallion, yeah, it's good, but not necessary until we see what those Misery Mire and Turtle Rock pendants, or medallions, sorry.
Oh, Cassidy taking a death on the overworld on the way to check the desert ledge.
Gotta be careful of those jazz hands, man. They're vicious.
I don't think Agina had anything, so he's not going to be like super punished for this.
Nah,
But,
it was just
you know,
20 bucks.
It doesn't feel good to die on the overworld.
Mm-mm.
And Kern gets to the library, boots on his feet. It's got to be something good, right? Oh!
Ooh!
That's pretty good. The flute on the library, and Kern's going to be able to activate it right now in Kakariko.
See, that's some pretty darn good routing. Because both Boyne and Kern are going to be able to go ahead and get that flute real quick. I'm not sure if Cassidy or Igri are going to be doing the uncle check anytime soon.
Yeah, the uncle paying off today. Kern almost threw a bomb at it, but changed his mind.
Realizing last second he had boots, so why not? I mean, you got to get that bonk counter up somehow, right?
Yeah, if I don't finish the seed with at least 25 bonks, I did something wrong.
Uh-oh, the cape.
Yep. Okay, so we find a cape on the race game. This is saying maybe Aga, maybe not Aga.
We're one good lantern away from an Aga play.
So given the items that we've seen so far, it does look like we're going to end up finding progression up the mountain, probably inside Tower Vera.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got the flute, we got the mirror, we got a weapon.
Let's just hope that whatever we need isn't fire-locked in Tower.
Well, it's almost like it's likely we'll find the lamp up there, honestly.
Right. Well,
Barrier checking the race game before doing it, but he sees a cape there, he's going to go back and do it.
Wise decision. Ooh, Boyne's got to be careful. Half a heart. Can he do it? And he did it for, I think, Zora money.
Yeah, it looks like 300 rupees.
Very nice. And since
he's going to
got
continue through.
I was going to say, he's got that small key. He's going to risk it. That is really risky.
So these aren't like the most dangerous dark rooms or anything, like when you have a sword, right? Because you can pretty much dash through everything. But it's really hard to always avoid getting hit in the dark. Thankfully, rats only do quarter-hearted damage.
So he can mess up once.
Yep, there it goes.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, it feels a little bad for Dwayne. But it's not, it's not the end of the world. It is out of logic for him to be there anyway, and he'll likely find some gloves to be able to check it the shorter way afterwards.
Oh yeah, and I didn't see a map on the front part of Escape, so probably means the back half has got the map, and that's only 2 items that you are missing.
So now Kern, done with Kakariko, is checking what everybody else checked, and everybody else, done with everything that's not Kakariko, headed there.
Welcome to the wonderful part of the run where everyone does what everyone else has done. We'll see you again in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is basically why I say like the early game routing isn't really that impactful. Like it's little time saves here and there. Like, did you have the boots when you first went to Kakariko? Did you have the bottle when you first went to Kakariko?
Exactly. It's when you start getting the weird sequence breaks, that's when you start seeing the real divergence. Because if you get something fantastic earlier and skip all the nonsense, like, 10 arrows, $20 here and there, you can make a lot of progress.
The main divergence right now is Sahasrar's hut. That sword and silver arrows were not necessary for Kern to find the mountain to look like a really good place. So he's actually going to go up to Hera without that sword. But he has the hammer, so, it's fine. Dashing is just a little more dangerous.
Go ahead. Gotta watch out for those sky cabbages.
Kern doing the Spectacle of Rock item blind. This is a typical play to check the hint tile, but we have no hint tiles today.
See, this is the part where muscle memory just ends up doing more
Right?
harm than good.
Let's see if he checks it. I think he probably figured it out. Nope, he checked it anyway. Okay, Kern, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Quickly remembering that, oh, right, no hints. But gets that bomb jump. That one's a tricky one. Ooh,
Kern.
Larry.
Enter in the dark world. He's a skeleton, and no, he's not.
I always laugh at that the old man's bunny form is a skeleton.
Yeah, the old man's bunny form is actually what happens to him if you finish a seed without saving him. The hard truth. The hard truth.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is where the divergence comes in, like I was talking about. We just got a glimpse at the bow on Zora's Ledge, and Blaine may be getting it. And I believe he's got another water walk stored up. I'm not 100% sure.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, shoot. Then he's going to have to wait for that.
You can store a Boots water walk and then activate the Moon Pearl water walk from the Waterfall Fairy to sequence break that. But with only the Boots, he won't be able to do 2 water walks. He does have the option. He can get it. He'd just have to fake flipper the entire way through the Zora area, which, in addition to being really, really slow, is also really, really dangerous.
Just a major pain in the patootie.
And not having done Kakariko yet, it doesn't make any sense for Blaine to go that far out of his way for something out of logic.
And as chat was pointing out, we did get a glimpse that Tower of Hera is fire locked. We got the small key in the first one and just a useless item in the second.
And before Lamp and Paradox Cave.
Oh, that'd be awesome. No,
right? I mean,
no.
I feel like that's the most likely thing to happen here is like Lamp and Paradox Cave for Moon Pearl and Hera to get to, Dark World access from Aga. It's horrible, but
yes, it is
likely.
I'm like, what's the worst scenario that we can put these poor runners through at the moment? Another downside to muscle memory, Kern figuring out, oh wait, this is the light world, not the dark world.
It's the other game. It's the other game. I always remember it by saying to myself, light is right. You enter the right entrance when you're in the light world.
Very nice.
And they rhyme, and that's easy for me.
Ooh, there's our fire source.
That is decidedly not a lamp. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you could put a little cover over the top of it and treat it like a lamp. It's not going to do much.
Maybe if you drape the cape over it, it might, expand the light source so you can see in the dark.
Well, we do have our Moon Pearl and our Quake Medallion, so thankfully Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, they're not going to be a problem getting in.
Oh, that is all the medallions.
Unfortunately, he can't use any because he doesn't have a sword yet.
I mean, swords are basically optional.
I mean, who needs a sword, really?
Like, what do we even need a sword for? Casting medallions? Killing Ganon? Like, are these even important things?
Nah.
So Kern's making his way back up through Paradox Cave to get to the top of the mountain so he can quickly head over to the now full clearable Tower of Hera.
Now, the tricky part here is going to be how the runners react to finding the lamp before. If they do you think most of them are going to be like, let's go ahead and start full clearing everything in Light World before we do Aga?
I think I'd do Aga if I had Lamp Hammer, no glove.
I think Boyne's going to be in a better situation because seeing that bow locked on Zora's Ledge, I'm thinking flippers are going to be hidden somewhere in Dark World, and unless you have the flippers or just decide to fake, you're going to be kind of locked out of that east side unless you get gloves. So...
Yeah, like some of the more horrible things that can happen is like flippers in the first chest of pod to get the bow to find the gloves deeper in pod, something like that.
Oh, yes. Or a glove on Arma. Those Armos Knights.
Yeah, Armos is definitely an option. I'm not sure if we're going to see anybody sequence break to that bow, though. It is a very annoying thing to do.
Yeah. Time-consuming and dangerous. Yeah, may not see that.
Have we seen the Moon Pearl? Where is the Moon Pearl?
Oh, that was in Paradox Cave, along with the Quack Medallion.
Oh, okay. I see Kern has it marked on his tracker. I totally wasn't paying attention.
It's okay. Cassidy and Aerie are about to see that.
Well, with the Moon Pearl, sequence breaking to the bow does look a lot more attractive than before, because they will be able to water walk the whole way. But, I mean, it's still slower than just getting it on your first trip to the Zora area.
Right? And it looked like Boyne was using echolocation with the flute there to find his way through the dark cave.
Yeah, it's actually a fantastic way to determine whether or not you're still inside the screen transition. Like, once you're in the screen transition, you just spam Y with the flute, and as soon as you can hear the flute noise, that you've passed through the transition, and it can time your movements.
See, I just like doing things the difficult way and just do it blind.
It's not really necessary when you have a sword.
Yeah, but where's the challenge? And speaking of challenge, I think Kern just finished off the first boss, so first blood at 1757.
Yeah, very clean Hammer Moldorm fight to get a map.
And judging by the tracker, we've got absolutely nothing of use in Tower of Hera. Well, I mean, except for Crystal, of course.
I believe that Kern has already done South Shore, so I'm not sure where he's going to go now. He has the option to do, like, the Fake Flipper or Water Walk or whatever. But he could also go into Eastern. Looks like he will do the Water Walk. If anybody's going to sequence break that bow, though, I think it will be Kern. Kern loves sequence breaking.
And what's funny is that the only light world that we haven't seen yet that would give progression would, well, within logic, Eastern Palace.
Definitely, which absolutely could just have the flippers to get to that bow, or the lamp to put more of it in logic, or Aga in logic. Or more, mundane, the glove.
Oh, yeah. Now, I would like to see the lamp in the big chest in Eastern Palace with the big key just before it. And then we have the flippers in the back of Escape leading to the bow. And then we just have like some worthless item on Armos.
Lamp to flippers to bow to have to do Aga anyway.
Yep.
Oh, that's mean. So we saw Kern set up a water walk in Ice Rod Cave, but he didn't use that. He actually fake flippered instead. He'll be able to activate his water walk at a later time to either get to the Zora's Ledge item or to get into Waterfall Fairy a little faster. More likely, he just activates it right here. Yep, he does.
Whoa,
and that's
okay.
the lamp on Hobo. So the lamp is also flippers locked.
Yeah, that tells us we're definitely going to be finding our flip pretty soon.
It does seem likely. But I mean, flippers could really be anywhere. Like, they could just be in the Dark World, and the glove is just an Eastern.
Yeah, but this is way more entertaining.
Right? Okay, so Kern's water walking out of Waterfall Fairy. He's forfeited the possibility of sequence breaking to the ledge at this time, having moved left or right in the Underworld. But after he gets Zora, I'm really curious if he's going to go back for that bow. It makes sense, right? I mean, because the only other place he has to go right now is like Eastern Palace, and boy, it would be nice if I could do that with the bow.
Right? He's already got the lamp.
But at the same time, it is a pendant, and he doesn't even have the lamp in logic. Oh, he menued to flute. He's gonna do it.
Let's see that Eastern Palace. Oh no, he's gonna sequence break.
Alright, so this is actually kind of intricate what he's doing, but the execution for this is actually really simple. He's gonna go into Ice Rod Cave and dash out of it while next to the pit. This stores a water walk. The next time he jumps south into deep water, he will be water walking. But instead of using this water walk, he is going to fake flipper and keep that water walk stored. If the crabs don't kill him. Oh my god, crab.
Oh, crabs.
Alright, he has to fake flipper on the very first attempt or it breaks everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so now just follow with me here. He is currently fake flippering, but he has a stored water walk.
Which means that as long as he doesn't get hit and he doesn't go back onto dry land, he'll be able to go ahead and jump off that ledge.
Right, so he swims into Waterfall Fairy here, and he's going to walk out and be water walking. But this is a different water walk. This water walk was set up using the Moon Pearl, so he's now water walking with a stored water walk.
Which means that the moment he jumps off that ledge, he will be water walking.
Yeah, it's going to break his current one that he's using and activate his stored one. Ba-ba-ba! Did it. Fantastic Kern.
And he's
Easy
got it.
bow. Meanwhile, Arier says, let's just do Eastern without the bow. It's fine.
And we'll watch as we just get a glove.
Oh, that would be so depressing. I want this to pay off so big for Kern.
This could be everything. And honestly, since he hasn't done Sassy Pants, I would just go ahead and do that first.
Oh, Sahasrara is what you're referring to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can't say his name
what
there.
Is
so.
Sassy Pants? I don't even know what that is. Teach me, Mr. Scruff.
See, like everyone calls him like Sriracha or Saha.
I like Sarsaparilla. That's my personal favorite.
I've decided to give up pronouncing his actual name, so I just call him Sassy Pants.
Okay, so now Cassidy's in a very similar moment of decision here. Does he also sequence break to it? Oh, it's just a glove and Eastern. Feels bad, man.
Oof. Just big oof.
Cassidy's running over to Money Moldorm Cave. He's also going to sequence break to that bow.
Oh, but we've got ourselves a lamp-locked item and an item on Armos, so I wonder...
Yeah, and the green pendant,
Yeah.
too.
So 3 more items. I think Kern's gonna do it.
Oh, yeah, Kern is like... He it took a long time to sequence break to that bow, right? Like, this is a huge time commitment to get this early bow that maybe other players would get really simply later on by just having the flippers. So it would be very, very useful if the sequence breaking to the bow, spending that time, actually led to something awesome. And with 3 items locked behind the flippers, I think this is pretty much a no contest. You have to full clear this.
Yeah, just a fire shield there. But yeah, since this is technically out of logic right now, there's not going to be a whole lot of use of completing Eastern unless this happens to be just an early Galaxy play. If there's something on Green Pendant, or if there's something on Pedestal, Kern is going to have a huge, huge advantage.
And there's no telling. They're like pretty much anything except for the flippers could be on these locations. And Cassidy also doing the double water walk here, gonna get his bow as well.
See, that's interesting. We saw Ice Palace and Pod as our other, and I think it was Turtle Rock as our other 5/6. And see, we've got open access to the bow. We've got it there on the ledge. We find flippers, we're good. Having Pendant Eastern and Pendant Pod, that makes me think, especially since we're able to see the bow so early, we may have something on Pedestal in play.
It's certainly possible. I'm reluctant to make any predictions though until we find out where those flippers are, because the flippers could just like be really deep in the logic, like on Laser Bridge or something, and all of this stuff behind the bow and all this stuff behind the flipper is just completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah.
Arier did not find much of use in Hype Cave.
Ooh, but Cassidy's doing it.
Why? But why?
Oh, they're doing it.
But why?
They got the time to sequence break. He decided to say, nope, not doing Eastern. I'm going for the memes.
Okay. I'm so confused why he would do this when he went out of his way to get the bow. Like, I guess he's just assuming it's like flippers and Eastern, and then like the bow is leading to Pod for Darkhold access.
I think that Cassidy is tapping into that psychic potential and is listening to what we're saying, thinking, yeah, this is definitely going to lead to Aga.
I think the truth of the matter is that there is no real God vision. It's just make crazy plays, and eventually one of them will be right, and then people say you're really good at the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's what happens, right?
There is no good player in this game. You just do random stuff long enough that you finally get a good... And speaking of random stuff here, we got Bwayne heading over to Skull, and since he's got a sword and the fire rod, he can go ahead and complete it.
To be honest, no memes. Cassidy going into Aga, it's not the craziest thing in the world to do. Like, given the information that he has, it's actually really likely that like the flippers would be in Pod, leading to gloves in Pod, leading to gloves behind the bow.
Oh, very likely.
Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen today.
Not today.
Oh, Bwayne's headed towards Mothula. This should be a pretty fun fight. He has half magic, so it won't be like that bad. Like the majority of his damage is going to be coming from that fire rod.
Oof, and just big 20 with the green pendant. So the main play here is something on Pedestal. If it is, Kern's got it. If not, oops.
Right, from Cassie's perspective, Aga 1 is out of logic, but he's thinking that the flippers are inside Pendant Eastern, leading to Darkhold access from Pod.
Ooh, we are going to get our check on Back of Escape now that we've got those gloves.
Finally!
And Mothula is down. Just some love and some triple booms in the back.
Crystal number 2. Crystal, get!
Gotcha!
Arier continuing his trek through the Dark World finds a Master Sword here in Crystal Thieves Town.
Ooh, that'll make things a little easier. Since you got the hammer, you can go ahead and full clear Thieves Town first go around.
That's correct. There are no hints whatsoever in this seed. Our runners will just have to find progression the old-fashioned way by looking. I guess. I don't know.
So barbaric.
This is retro before retro became retro.
So hip. So awesome.
Okay, so Cassidy, having defeated Aga, heading straight into Pod, which unfortunately... Oh, no, he saw it's a pendant and he says, no, let's do Hype Tape first.
Yep, just wants to go for that hype. Now let's see what name we can give this cave today. Instead of giving it a ranking, we're gonna give it a name. That's gonna be the new thing. So alright, we start off with a $1.
Is that the conversion ratio of rupees to USD?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Oof. Yeah, this is bad.
What did Zora give us? Because now I'm thinking it cost $500.
A piece of heart.
Worth?
So yeah, this was the trash
cave.
cave.
Heart costs on the black market. Like,
I would assume at least a quarter of a piece of a human heart would be around $500.
Yeah, pretty accurate, right?
I'll go ahead and ring up Hannibal Lecter and see what he gets.
I'm really surprised that Cassidy did not go into Pod, though, because I feel like he put everything into this Aga gamble and to Sequence Breaking the Bow and everything.
Right? Oh, I think he's just going to go ahead and do the front of escape now. Oh, Kern, sorry, not Cassidy.
Yeah, he mirrored here from Pyramid, right?
Yep, he did.
Yeah, this makes sense. This is like the most efficient time he could do this.
Now, it'll be interesting to see where the other mids are, because if we find them pretty early on, that may put Cassidy in the wrong direction.
Honestly, they're probably in Pod.
Oh no, that'd just be so bad. Ooh, that was another sword in King's Tomb, so we've got 3 of our swords already out and about.
I mean, the good thing is that Cassidy knows that there's progression inside Eastern Palace. Like, there has to be. There was nowhere else that it could be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And his thinking right now is that that progression is probably the flippers, which is an item that he has to find at some point in the game. So eventually he will go into Eastern Palace.
The best question is when?
Probably right after Palace of Darkness, which he is headed to right now. Arier showing us the blind script. Oh, there's the flippers in C-shaped house.
Okay, so we're technically back in logic. Well, for Blaine, at least.
The world makes sense again.
Oh, and I blinked and missed it. Ari got the blind fight underway, gets their second. And
so the flippers
Blaine...
ended up being like relatively early in our spheres here, right? Like just behind Darkhold Access. Which means that the bow is right behind that, which means that Pod's looking pretty good for having something.
Right?
And it's probably the mitts.
I would not be surprised, honestly. I love that one qualifier where we actually had both the Power Glove and the Titan's mitts in Pod. And it was hammerless Pod, mind you, so we had to do Aga. It's like the seed was intentionally wanting to play with us.
What a fun seed.
Right?
Just a small key in that first chest. Pod is not yet bow locked.
Very convenient for one of our few players that has the bow. Now, I always love watching how the different players map out pod. I'm always a fan of just doing that first chest, going over to Bowlock side, if I have it or not, and then doing that, leaving that chest on the bridge for after I clear out right side.
Yeah, there's different philosophies. The main thing though is that you want to make sure that you've got all possible items in the front before heading to the back of pod, right? Because if one of those items is the big key, it's the punish is just massive.
Oh, true.
But whether or not you do the vanilla big key chest early or not is usually like personal preference. Sometimes you can skip it, sometimes you can't.
I always like leaving it for last, so that way you can either mirror or death warp back, start off fresh, and be like, beep. Well, to anyone that is currently joining us now, welcome to the SpeedGaming Live qualifier for the tournament later on in October. This is qualifier number 11, and we're going to basically be playing to get the best times so we can get ourselves a slot in the bracket. We've got Blaine, Error, I'm mispronouncing that for sure, Kern, and Cassidy Moen, all racing for your wonderful viewing pleasure. Be sure to give them a follow at their Twitch handles, and definitely enjoy watching, because these are some awesome racers.
I just say Arier. No one's ever corrected me.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, Boyne has Tempered Sword, by the way. When did this happen?
He got his Master Sword over in King's Tomb, and then got the third one.
Oh, King's Tomb paying off. I like it.
And thank you, Chad, for clarifying. Eeyore is correct.
Oh my god, Cassidy found a glove.
Oh, snap.
Okay, so now let's put ourselves in Cassidy's shoes for a second. Cassidy thinks, holy moly, I'm so far ahead. But he's not.
Alright, everyone, you're going to need to send your energy to Cassidy and let them know to mirror to Eastern Palace. I know that this is already 20 minutes in the past, but mirror to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, so in Cassidy's mind, Eastern's like, oh my gosh, it's so definitely the flippers in Eastern. I figured the seed out, you guys. Because the flippers in Eastern would have given logical access to the lamp and the bow, which gave logical access to Aga, which gave logical access to Pod, which gave logical access to his very first glove. What actually happened is the other gloves just in Eastern, and Aga was completely unnecessary. But he thinks that the flippers are in Eastern right now, and he needs the flippers, so he's definitely going to be doing Eastern.
Oh, and that's nice. Big Chest has the map or the compass. Oh wait, did he do the Bowlock side yet?
He definitely did.
Okay, because...
So I'm not sure why he's going to kill the boss then.
Yeah, that's weird.
Compass.
Are
we just making a pet gamble?
I bet he is. Alright, this is interesting. So yeah, I think Cassidy is gonna head over to Eastern next. See, that's smart though, because now you've got this 1-2 punch of getting Pot out of the way, then doing Eastern after. He's gonna find those Titans mitts and be able to go ahead and just complete Armos right then and there.
But he doesn't know he's gonna find the Titans mitts.
I know, it's so great.
This is a pretty huge gamble right now. Like, he knows for sure 100% Helmasaur King is not gonna drop anything, but he's doing it anyway. And the only reason to do this is to pull the pedestal, which he can't possibly know has anything.
That'd be great if we got another one of those awesome seeds where the pedestal
You realize this mistake. Okay.
Oh. Now wait, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna go into Eastern?
I think he probably was thinking this was a crystal instead of a pendant.
Yeah, that's the problem when you don't have any type of map tracker or tracking system. You kind of forget where things are.
Boyne saw the mirror shield and said, "Nope, no, thank you."
Yeah, sadly, this is a group of good runners that were not going to pick up the lag shield, as it were.
Well, also, it would ruin his matching set, you know? He's got the red mail, the red shield, the red sword. That's good for like a 10% damage boost, I'm pretty sure.
You just get a
Link Defense works
percentage.
like that. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Prove me wrong.
If I had the money, I would go ahead and commission one of these wonderful developers here that made the rando and be like, please find a way to code that.
I don't think the damage values are high enough that 10% would actually change anything.
Nah. Butter would be like a 4.4, and that's just silly.
Like instead of 4 silver arrows to kill Ganon, it's 3.8 or 3.6, I guess. I can't do that.
Too good. Now, funny enough, I think that would actually come into play with something like the Master Sword spins, because instead of 24 spins, you'd have like, give me a sec, let me see if I can do the math.
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't have the 10% damage buff with the Master Sword.
Oh, that's
you'd
true.
You'd have the blue set bonus instead of the red set bonus. The blue set bonus is only 5%. Clearly. So Cassidy does find his glove in Eastern, and he knows now that Aga was not necessary. Cannot be feeling that great about it, but he did find progression in Pod, so you know, depending on how long it takes the other runners to make their way to Pod to find those mitts, Cassidy can actually come out ahead, even having done Aga.
Oh yeah. Now, this is going to be an interesting tactic for Cassidy here, because I want to stop and try and get inside Cassidy's mind. He's going to see that there's an item here in the vanilla big key chest, and he's going to realize that there's a key on Armos. If Cassidy goes for Armos, do you think that he's going to jump over to Pod and complete...
I thought Armos had an item.
Yeah, Armos does have an item. It's just, I think, $20.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely kill Armos and turn in the green pendant here. It's too valuable not to. Plus, the truth is that most runners wouldn't have the bow when they came here for their Darkhold access. So these are locations that Cassidy can do that other runners would not have been able to. And if it turns into progression, then Cassidy's like super far ahead, right? Unfortunately, we did already see these locations from Kern, and it wasn't worth.
I would also like to point out that our other Grumpy Fish gave us a full heart container, where our first Grumpy Fish just gave us a piece of heart.
The real question here, I think, is Cassidy... Does Cassidy feel behind enough to go back into Pod and defeat Helmosaur to get that blind ped pull? Because for him, Ice Palace isn't logic. He can pull the pedestal.
Oh, yeah.
It would be like the most gambly thing anybody could ever gamble. But if you feel behind enough, it starts looking pretty good.
That's the fun thing, too, because if you look at the items that could be on pedestal at this point, as long as we get a key, a small key in the first chest to Ice Palace, we may have access to Hookshot on Ped, Kanesamari on Ped, or wonderful Ice Rod on Ped.
Okay, that's not how the hookshot logic works for Ice Palace, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, the key logic is weird anyway. Don't judge me.
So in Ice Palace, the compass chest, the one you were talking about, the Freezor chest and the Ice Tea chest, they're all in the same sphere. So it's the contents of all three of them together that determines whether or not it's a hookshot lock.
Ah, right.
But yeah, definitely possible progression on Ped. Like, and it wouldn't even be like that weird. Like usually, if the game says here's all the things you need to pull pedestal, it's actually a lot more likely than normal that there is something on pedestal.
And then you get the rare scenario where it just likes to punk you and be like, haha.
All right, Cassidy, not a dirty gambler, says, let's not get crazy here. I'll just go do some crystal dungeons.
Now, what's nice for Cassidy is when they go ahead and do all the backtracking, they're going to be able to pick up Jeremiah and return him to the smith. Do the hammer peg. Oh, shoot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that Cassidy will be able to do.
Yeah, this is the benefit to him mistakenly believing that the flippers were in Eastern, because now he has mitts and nobody else does, and nobody wants to go to Pod to get them.
which I don't blame them. I just find it funny that both of our progressive glove items were in pendant dungeons. And there is an unspoken rule. Whenever Ice Palace is a pendant, there's 100% going to be a unique item in there that's going to be used.
Oh, I thought it was 110.
Yeah, there we
Is
go.
it just 100?
Now we had to factor in the bonus there.
Well, yeah, the 10% bonus from having the red matching set.
In the most satisfying hammer pegs. Ooh, get the Cane of Brian.
Oh my gosh. You know what that does?
Absolutely nothing!
Well, I guess I put Spike Cave in Logic, but we know that's nothing.
Yeah, and they already had the cape, so...
Oh yeah, because everybody else found a bottle.
Because it's a pretty cape. Oh yeah, I missed that. I didn't even notice that everyone had a bottle.
Yeah, for Spike Cave, like, they have... For the cape, it has to have, like, a magic extension with it. Although now I just realized everybody has half magic, so never mind, just ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Where was half magic? Everybody has it. I didn't even notice that.
Kakariko Well, I believe.
Ah, okay. So, like, 1 minute into the game when I was busy not paying attention, of course.
Kakariko is like the land of conveniences today. We got the mirror, we got the half magic, we got... I think that's it, actually. Land of some conveniences.
Oh, Boyne and Airy are both going straight into Palace of Darkness after they've completely exhausted all their other options. I think maybe they didn't do Catfish or something, but all the heavy stuff is done.
And sadly, the lunchbox and the Smiths just not paying off for anything good. Although it looks like Cassidy is going to be heading over to Thieves Town, Skull Woods area, so they're going to be picking up their flips pretty soon.
Yeah, which will put everything back in Logic for him.
We'll have Boyne and... I'm just going to call him Airy. Boyne and Airy are going to go ahead and get their Titan Smiths here soon.
Honestly, things not looking great for Cassidy. Because now, like, everything that Cassidy's doing, everybody else had already done. And everybody else is going to get through pod quicker than he did, both by virtue of having the, better equipment, but also by not having done Aga first.
True.
If there had been something like on the Smith sequence, then Cassidy would be looking pretty good, because I really doubt anyone's going to be going straight to Smith sequence after getting their mitts here.
Yeah, since the Cane of Burnout was the only thing that actually came out of that okay, it's not really a great one.
I am curious, though, what they will do with the mitts when they get out of here. I think the probably like the first thing everybody will do is like go to the mire area, check checkerboard and mire shed, but probably not go into mire and instead full clear desert.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Assuming that we got nothing there, your choices become like, okay, we can do Super Bunny, get one chest in Hookshot Cave, the Smith sequence, and Pendant Ice Palace.
Yeah, that sounds intriguing. So yeah, I think you're right. The best play is going to be going over to Mire.
Cassidy having the bug torch there. It was lit. It just didn't look like it.
It's that new special flame. It burns so bright, it's invisible.
Just because the torch isn't inflating does not mean the oxygen is not flowing. Boyne giving that switch the old bomb 1-2 to get back up here pretty quick.
Almost falls off the edge there after realizing he's got to stop. And there be the Titan Smiths!
Titan Smiths!
And Mothula is down for Cassidy.
Yeah, nice fire rod fighter sword fight.
Now, I do find that interesting that Cassidy hasn't taken the time to go to King's Tomb. But to be fair, I don't think they checked Graveyard Ledge either.
Yeah, he'll probably do them together right after Skull Woods. Like, it looks like a really good place to go. You get to check Bumper Cave. You get to get 3 checks behind the boots in the mirror. And with no hints in the seed, you're never going to get bailed out from doing Graveyard Ledge, right?
Yeah. I swear, Graveyard Ledge and Spy Cave are the 2 that I will never not check in any seed that I...
Yeah, it really becomes like this. You either do it as like soon as you can, or you just never do it. And if there's progression there, you just straight up lose. Area headed over to the Mire area. He checks the item on Desert Ledge first.
And sadly, just a shiny $20.
He's like lockstep with Boyne.
Ooh, what was that?
What was what? What, the medallion and...
Yeah. It
No,
looks
doesn't
like
matter.
Quake.
They have all of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, just for like... I'm a perfectionist, okay? Leave me alone.
I like to check it just to find out if it's the ether so I can do the burb toss.
Nah, I think it's Quake, so no burb toss today.
That's bad, man.
Sad.
Nothing in checkerboard either.
Just all that lovely money sitting there waiting to be taken.
Nice bomb jump from Cassidy to get to the big chest a little bit quicker.
Ooh, very nice.
And Boyne will dash down here to check the ledge, that area you checked before. And they're back to being lock and step. This is kind of cute how close they are, actually.
Right?
They've done all the same locations. 0 deviation.
Now, if they can keep that going for like another 40 minutes.
Oh, Arier, you ruined it. Alright, Boyne won the race, you guys. It's over. Might as well forfeit. Of course, I am kidding.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't over until it's over.
It ain't over till the Pyramid Fairy sings.
Was it an item on the torch?
Yep, it was just some bombs, I believe.
Okay, so Boyne's going to fight Lamo here first before checking the right side. The idea here is that if Lamo has a second item, then you can just completely skip the right side. But it is more efficient if the item is on the right side to do it first here. So we'll see which of them gets rewarded for their routing.
Ooh.
And it's Arier who gets rewarded.
That's true. Boyne might be like, item.
Yeah, Boyne's gonna kill Lambo, and then he'll have to go back into Desert, which is a little bit slower. It's not a huge time loss though, but it might make up for that fireball that knocked Arier off of the lock and step.
Yeah, there we go.
Cassidy gonna show the Kern jump, which is weird because Kern's in the race. So this is a damage boost into a fake flipper that was actually found by Kern and was subsequently named the Kern jump. He jumps off the ledge with the bomb in hand, and the bomb damage pushes him into the screen transition right as he lands in the water, which activates a fake flipper state.
I do find it funny that Kern's found a lot of those.
I think he found them all in like one day. It's just one day you're like really bored. I wonder if I can just bomb jump around. Let's do that. Did Boy not go back into desert?
Nope. He's risking
he's
it.
going into mire. Oh no, he's not. He's just opening it. Never mind.
Yeah. Like he was risking it for the biscuit.
I thought he'd go into mire.
Oh, he's gonna check it.
Yeah, he just wanted to enter desert from the front. It's a little faster than coming from the far left side like that. And he has to open mire eventually anyway.
True.
Area, however, I think will be going into mire.
Ooh, wait for... Oh. I was hoping there was going to be a close enough sync.
So this is a massive gamble here from Area to go into mire without the cane. There's only 2 items in Misery Mire. One of them might be on the boss, so, minimum 1 item. But while this isn't like the worst double dip of all the double dips, it's definitely not a nice one either.
Right. Now the plus is that once they find the big key, if they get their 2 items and it's not the cane, then they can just come back later when they got the cane and go mode it.
Oh, Boyne ended up going into mire anyway. This is very surprising to me. I would have expected to see them go into Ice Palace instead of mire.
Right?
Or at least like go up the mountain and, well, I guess the mountain's really not that good. Well, without the hook shot.
Oh,
somebody can probably hover though, right?
No, of course not. That's cheating. Another joke, of course. Hovering is not cheating.
Allowed, right?
Hovering is 100% allowed.
But I think Mimic Clip is banned for this tournament.
Yeah. Mimic Clip is banned. Potion Glitch is still good though. Of course, it's people like me who can't hover that are really salty about people that can.
Oh yeah, because the only reason to want to ban hovering is because you can't do it right.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure if you can hover, you love hovering, right? Oh my god, the cane's in mire.
Oh my. That is a fantastic find.
That's like the biggest find of all the finds.
And that just leaves Hookshot and Ice Rod as potential pedestal items. Now, since we've got some time for them to go ahead and wander and do their stuff, let's go ahead and talk key logic for Ice Palace. We were stating earlier that you need to have a small key in the pin gator room and possibly one in the freezer room to not have Hookshot required.
Okay, so the idea behind key logic is the goal of the randomizer's key logic is to make sure that if you spent your keys in the worst possible way, you can still full clear the dungeon, right? So for whether or not it's hookshot locked, it really comes down to whether or not you find the big key. Because if you find the big key in Ice Palace, that gives you access to 2 extra key doors. So finding the big key and any amount of small keys will mean that it was hookshot locked. And finding 0 small keys would mean that it was hookshot locked.
Gotcha.
But 1 or 2 small keys and 0 big keys would mean you can get there logically, because you would be able to spend your keys on all available key doors. Of course, things get muddier when you have the Cane of Samaria, because Cold Stare can drop a key. Like, it's possible that, like, Cold Stare is Samaria locked, but not hookshot locked. So, like, Cold Stare could drop the hookshot in a situation where it's hookshot locked, if that makes sense. Which I'm sure it did. Talk to me, Mr. Scruff.
Oh, sorry, I'm just...
Your brain on fire.
I'm sitting here imagining what Math Girl's face is looking like right now while we're trying to explain the key logic, and she's like, no, that's wrong.
Oh, did I explain it wrong?
I'm not sure.
Tell me if I said it wrong.
Help us, Math Girl. You're our only hope. No, I think you're right. Because that makes sense.
I'm fairly accurate. All right. That is high praise from Math Girl 718. Thanks so much.
Oh, okay, no. I was fairly accurate about her face.
Oh, never mind. My feelings are...
You not so much. Alright, so we'll go ahead and let Math Girl type out her thing, and we'll go ahead and give our wonderful voices to let the people listen. Especially those watching on YouTube later, so since you can't see chat, unfortunately, you'll get to listen to us explain.
I'm fairly positive Math Girl is just going to say exactly what I said, but in a different way.
See, I'm trying to think of something witty that doesn't sound like it's just horribly... Ooh, very
Down
nice Viddy fight.
Viddy.
Well, that's actually... Okay, we'll go ahead and go with a really easy key logic, and that's Misery Mire. Misery Mire, you don't need keys. They're just a pleasantry.
There is key logic in Mire, just like it doesn't matter because the things you'd have to do to ruin your keys, nobody does because like they've played the game before.
That's a good way of putting it.
I think there's like 2 or 3 key doors or something that you can get to that you just never see in a typical run because there's no reason to go to those rooms.
I kind of like what someone else put in chat. The easiest way to remember Ice Palace logic is Ice Palace is hookshot locked unless it's not hookshot locked.
No, because if you find the big key and only one of the 2 small keys, Math Girl, you wouldn't have logical access to the right side from the small key. So, like, if you find the big key and both small keys, then it is accessible. Okay, so I guess I missed that one part of it. Okay, so the 3 situations where it's hookshot locked are big key, less than 2 small keys, 0 small keys. No, wait, that's everything.
Yep. So that is.
But it's those 3 locations that matter. And if you find the big key, then the big chest is also included.
Yarp. Welcome to the logic that is Link to the Past Randomizer.
She gave up on me. Oh.
That's alright. Math Girl gave up on me long, long ago.
I've played the game before, I swear.
Ooh. Looks like Buena opened up Turtle Rock. He's gonna go ahead and go check a couple things. Possibly.
Meanwhile, doing the Smith sequence, he's not ready to make that gamble into TR.
Aw. See, sadly, the Smith sequence isn't gonna pay off. We got bombs and I think a heart piece from Gary. Let's see what we got in Super Bunny. It's red goo. Mmm, delicious Kool-Aid.
None of this matters anyway until somebody actually goes to Ice Palace, right?
Right?
Which nobody wants to do.
All the talk about it is going to deter anyone from actually going there. So no one is going to see what it's like. Oh man. Okay, so nothing in Hookshot Cave that we can see. Wait, we're going to see a hover. Can Dwayne do it? Ooh, so close. Ah, he's going back. He's going back. Ooh. All right, see, this is where the comedic part of it is not put into the whole hovering is banned. This shows how difficult it is. As some wonderful commentators have put before, all you have to do is press a button within a 60th of a second, and then repeatedly press that every 60th of a second. And see, that's even wrong, but it's
yeah,
perfect.
That's not the right numbers, but pretty much.
It's insanely difficult. You just have to hit buttons in an order repeatedly. That's it.
And Hookshot just in the front of TR. Dwayne's actually going to leave.
So you don't need to hover because you got the hookshot now.
So he's going to check Hookshot Cave real quick and make sure that the Ice Rod just isn't in there. But I would expect him to go back into TR right after and hope there for Ice Rod on Laser Bridge or something. Like, his other main option at this point is to full clear swamp. Well, he finds a
Ooh.
book. He might go check Ether Tablet now.
And a shovel.
And another fetch quest. That's fantastic.
Alright, I'm not going to quote it because I absolutely despise Frozen. Do you want to do a fetch quest?
I don't even know what you're referencing. Is that the
Oh,
movie with the sisters?
Yeah, that is.
I didn't like that one. You know, I liked the Rapunzel one.
Tangled? Yeah, that was my favorite.
That one was really cute.
We'll go ahead and get some anger in chat by saying Frozen was terrible.
I'd say it was terrible. I just didn't like it.
I say it's terrible because I hated it. Ooh. I think Ari's gonna go for it. Are we gonna see the hover? Nope.
I mean, if the ice orb was in Hookshot Cave, right, and the hookshot wasn't so readily available, then the hover here would be like so massive. I think that's exactly what happened in one of the early races, qualifier races. It was
first
like ice rod
qualifier.
and Hookshot Cave.
Yep. First qualifier. Very first qualifier was a hover seed.
And Boyne is going back into Turtle Rock here. He will go all the way to Laser Bridge looking for this ice rod.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be risky. But you know, we've got the book. I mean, if Boyne really wanted to, he could go ahead and go check head. Nah, he's gonna play the safe thing and go do Laser Bridge.
So if he goes all the way to Laser Bridge and he still doesn't find the ice rod, he does have the ability to save the portal. He can mirror right outside Laser Bridge, and as long as he never saves and quits or creates a new mirror portal, that portal will stay. It will remain, and he can save like 3 minutes when he comes back. So as long as he doesn't do anything that's mirror locked, he'll be able to save the portal. Unfortunately, the last crystal dungeon and the place he really wants to go after this is mirror locked.
Oh, that's right. We still have Swamp to do. Ugh.
But it's possible, right? Like, he just wants to save this portal so bad that he, instead of going to a crystal dungeon he can full clear, goes to, like, Pendant Ice. And if the ice rod's there, like, holy moly.
Well, I mean, let's go ahead and run through the numbers. We've got 4 more items to check in Turtle Rock. We've got 6 total items in Swamp. We've already seen Hookshot Cave, but we've got Bombos Tablet, the Flute Spot, and I think Pedestal, and that's it.
And Ice Palace, yeah.
Oh yeah, and Ice Palace, the 3 in there. Those are the only places that the ice rod could be.
It's probably like a murder mystery, right? You know, like the worst possible place would be Ped, but the best possible place would be TR. So it's going to be like in the middle, like split the difference. What's the place you would eventually go to, but it wouldn't be the last thing you do? Cold Stare, right? Ice Rod and Cold Stare.
Oh no, left side swamp, 100%.
You'd skip left side swamp looking for the ice rod?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, you're a mad gambler.
I am. And we are going to go ahead and get a check to Mimic Cave, though. It's a really nice one. Now, this is a fun one that whenever I find the mirror on Laser Bridge, I always have to check this one. And it never pays off, mind you.
I once had a seed. All right, it's going to sound like I'm making this up on the spot, but this totally happened to me. I had a seed where Trinex dropped the mirror, and my Go Mode flippers were in Mimic Cave. So I had to kill Trinex and then go all the way back through the dungeon just to check Mimic Cave right after.
I think that was our butter sword that Eerie just passed up.
Yeah, this late in the seed, there's no reason to pick up butter sword if it's even a little bit out of your way.
Yeah, unless it's quite literally right there in front of you that it doesn't hurt by picking it. Ooh, great timing for Blaine, by the way. That right there, I gotta give kudos. Because it is a pain to try and get that timing down without getting hit, mind you.
Would he do the block?
No, he didn't. That's
Oh, he
why
did it
it's
without the
cool.
block. Okay.
He did it just by walking. And we're coming up to the moment of truth. Get your hype ready. Are we gonna find Ice Rod in its vanilla location of Laser Bridge?
Don't trick chat, Mr. Scrub. Ice Rod is not vanilla in Turtle Rock. It's in Ice Palace.
I mean, it's only logical that you find the Ice Rod on Cold Stare, right?
Yeah, it's in the name. Unfortunately, Dwayne will not be finding the Ice Rod in Turtle Rock today. Not even gonna try and save the portal.
Nope.
I would have liked him to leave the portal outside because he can like go turn in the shovel real quick, and if like shovel was the Ice Rod, he could come right back, and it'd still be a time save. I think he's just gonna go straight to Swamp.
I mean, it's not a bad play. You've got a lot of items, and there it is.
Just obviously just right in the first chest of Swamp.
Dang it. All right, well.
So that means Arier has a pretty big advantage.
Yep. Which means that an hour and 9 minutes and some odd seconds. Or, no, not 9 minutes. Hour and 10 minutes, some odd seconds. Arier is in go mode.
Go mode. It's the mode where we go places and do things. Go mode.
It is the mode of going.
I made that up just now.
Really? I couldn't tell. So masterful.
So yeah, Arier has a pretty significant advantage here. Like his trek through Turtle Rock is going to be a little slower than Boyne's double dip. But like Boyne's going to unfortunately, it's going to be a hot minute before he gets that Ice Rod because now he's going to check the shovel.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we know where Butter is. We've already got Silvers, and there's nothing else we need, so this really won't help at all. I mean, it could be Powder. I mean, that's a good safety. Oh, wait, that's right, it was Butter. Never mind. See, that's how silly it was. I forgot exactly where that sword was.
I never saw it the first time. I was just taking your word for it.
Yeah, Ari had checked that just before coming over to Swamp. But you know, I know people will naysay it, but Butter is better.
I mean, it does more damage, you know?
Yeah, what, 6 swings on Ganon instead of 12?
Of course, for these runners, like I would expect all of them to be pretty adept at the 1-in-1 strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Ganon's early phases, which completely negates any advantage that the Butter Sword would have there.
Oh, I was gonna say, but with Butter Sword, they can go ahead and do the easier quick kill on Argus.
Oh yeah, just regular pokes instead of dash pokes.
Yep. So for those of us that don't have a humongous thumb, we can go ahead and kill him the easy way.
Down goes Argus for Kern. Kern, though, still has to go back to Mothula, but he is also in go mode.
That's not too bad. Oh, and someone in chat does point out that having Butter does make a 0 cycle possible on Trinix. And that's a cool thing that I hope we get to see.
Well, if we see, it's going to be from Boyne. Yeah, Cassidy unfortunately is going to be a bit behind this race because of that early, but not intensely crazy or anything. Early gamble of doing AGA 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole AGA 1 trek takes like 5 minutes or something that nobody else had to spend time doing.
The plus, though, is when you look at execution, Cassidy has done almost all of Pod, all of Eastern, killing Armos, killing Aga, and he's not that far behind in terms of placement to Kern.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Cassidy needs to go into Turtle Rock Rower, which he's headed towards to get his hook shot, and unless he stays in Turtle Rock like Boyne did, he should be pretty close.
That wonderful quick kill on Argus there. Doesn't get the 0 cycle, but does get a really nice first cycle. And first shot in the eye, just poof, down he goes. Oh, and Erie. Yeah, that's right. He didn't go all the way to Laser Bridge. So he's gonna go ahead and skip that lava room chest and...
Yeah, he's stealing the key here from the Pokey.
Yeah.
There, okay, so...
More key logic.
Does he do the big chest, though? Typical routing is you skip the big chest.
Yeah, because isn't it like a 17% chance that the small key isn't on laser?
I don't know the numbers. It's really rare. But essentially, if there's a small key in both the big chest and in the vanilla big key chest, then skipping the big chest means that there's not going to be a small key on Laser Bridge or in the Crystal Roller Room, and you have to walk backwards through the dungeon. It's usually like a very safe gamble, though.
Oh yeah, especially if you're in go mode.
But he checks the big chest to make sure.
Ooh, and Cassidy is making that play.
Well, this is his first time in.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't got the
Hasn't
hook
picked
shot
up the hook shot, yeah.
So he'll probably get the hook shot and then mirror out to check hook shot cave, and then what he does after that, I don't know. He needs to go to swamp after that, but Turtle Rock looks pretty inviting.
Right.
As Boyne showed us. Which is the main difference right now between Boyne and Arier, was that Boyne stayed in Turtle Rock and Arier didn't.
And that's the single gamble that'll do it, basically.
It's only 4% to get you? It doesn't feel like that. I swear it happens to me like every other time I do it.
Yeah, we'll be sure to quote him on that.
First key in the first chest. Or what the small...
Yep.
He did Lace Bridge.
Yay! Aw, and none of the fancy speed tactics from Airy there.
Yeah, you gotta kill the mini Helma if you want to do the item dash. Oh my gosh!
Having a bit of trouble with the Pokey
no!
there.
Pokey said, no!
Sorry, the Hoku Poku.
Okay, so you can see Boyne here, he is skipping the big chest. Although...
Oh yeah, he's already got the small key, so he's good.
He's not making a gamble, he just already checked these chests.
Now, you can't do a 0 cycle with the Tempered, but this is how you basically set it up.
I think it like saves a menu or something.
Yep.
If you do it with a Tempered Sword. I don't know if that's true, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think that's a hammer shred thing.
Yeah.
Where it's in the menu.
Ooh, and Aries gotten the 7th crystal down. And... let's wait until he picks it up. Not the money. There we go. Alright, now it's time for our favorite game. Sadly, we don't have a bot, but...
Can I do it?
Yeah, you do it. Go.
I want to announce it. All right, guys, we are headed towards Ganon's Tower. This is the final location before the final Ganon fight. Inside Ganon's Tower, there are 22 item locations that can contain the big key that Arier needs to finish the game. If you would like to guess in which of those 22 item locations Arier will find said big key, do so now. There's no reward, but it's fun, so do it. It's fun. It's fun, right, Mr. Scruff?
So much fun.
It's fun.
Just have fun. Oh, and Dwayne is finished up with Trinex there, so he's going to be joining Aries. Now, we are going to go ahead and track Aries' count, not Dwayne. So if Dwayne finds it first, we're going to go ahead and go off of Arier's count.
Arier headed to the left side first. Likely darker pink magician strats here.
So Bob is saved. We've got number 1 as 50 rupees. Here's number 2, small key. Number 3, piece of heart. Number 4, more money. Number 5, some more skewers. And
I'm not sure why did he hookshot there?
I'm not quite sure. I think he was wanting to go and stun.
Just overzealous button hitting.
He just really likes the hook shot. Number 6, small key. Number 7, small key. And we are going with the Dark Magician strats.
Unfortunately, Dwayne's taking the same route, so no time will be gained or lost here. I mean, every now and then I see somebody do like a random room rush, where they just go all the way to random room, starting with the right side. But it's pretty uncommon.
You know, I'm going to do that next time I run.
I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, that's the fastest way to get to random room. So, like, if the big key's there, like, woo!
And I lost count already. That's $100. That's $20. That's $5. And the big key!
Oh my god! So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
11?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11! 11 is the winner.
Congratulations, number 11. Let's see who it is. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Hold on.
It was Amadeus K. Congratulations. You guessed correctly and are the smartest person in chat. Let them know. Let them know how smart you are, Amadeus.
Because that is the true prize. Bragging to your peers.
Are they peers, though, if he's the smartest?
I'm just going to be nice, yeah. He just happens to be that 10% better than everyone else. He's got the right armor.
Unfortunately, Dwayne picked up the butter sword, and he lost his buff.
Oh.
He's not matching anymore. Curran and Arier, though, they still got it. They still got it. That's the true difference maker this seed.
Dwayne, even if he doesn't beat the restream, he will always win in our hearts.
Yeah, so Arier's ahead. Like, this is clear, right? But he's not so far ahead that mistakes can't make the difference. Like, falling to Moldorm 2, having, like, a really bad Agatsu fight, falling or dying to Ganon, all of these things can absolutely change, or turn the tides, as it were.
Oh, yeah. Deciding to try and hover instead of actually fighting Moldorm 2. They could do it, too.
Nobody managed the hookshot game hover, right?
I don't think so. Arier attempted it once, I believe, and just gave up. There was definitely an attempt.
Is Kern going to random room? Oh, he did the hope route, didn't he? Like, he started with the hope room.
Yep, he went the hope route. Oof, that's gonna hurt. Because I'm betting he's gonna go full left.
Yeah, that's the hope route is like check those first two on the right and then just do the whole left side. That's probably like the most popular way to route it.
I like being weird and deciding to go right side first, and if I get a small key, I do a tile room immediately.
You do the tile room gamble?
Heck yeah.
Oh my god. If I ever lose a race to you because of that, we're no longer friends.
Wait, we're friends?
Of course we're friends.
Of course.
I thought that was obvious by like how I talk to you and know your name.
Oh yeah. I mean, and we're both fishes, so it's instinctual.
Obvious. Yes.
We're a school of buddies.
Ariel tried to do a slick strat where you like use the hook shot so that Moldorm goes inside of you, and then let go of the sword while he's on top of you.
Oh my.
It didn't pay off, but it would have been cool if it happened.
It got into the swag. And for some reason, Cassidy is still checking chests when he's in go mode, so maybe he really wants that powder?
Probably just muscle memory. Like, he skipped the waterfall chest.
Ah, time for some trigonometry.
Yeah, not the most friendly patterns I've ever seen.
Ooh, gets
Nice
a good
triple, though. That'll do it. 3 cycles. Not bad.
Nice. And through the power of friendship, the bird has warped through dimensions.
Swag Duck, I choose you. Use Dive Bomb on the pyramid.
I can't wait for the day that we actually get a swag duck sprite.
It
And
was
then they
super
reverse it.
effective. A Swag Duck sprite?
Yes, I want
would
a swag duck sprite. And I want
I guess
the swag
like, the
duck
bunny
to be
form would
Link.
be the bat.
No, I want the bunny form to be Link.
Oh god. No, it should be like just like a small version of the bird statue, and you just walk around as a statue.
That'd be awesome. Well, dang, we're already into phase 3. And thankfully, Kern finds the big key, so he's going to be climbing Ganon. While Bwayne finishes up that Aga fight really well.
Yeah, Bwayne entering the Ganon fight before Arier has finished, so that's a good sign. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Arier's going to make any mistakes, and we'll probably snipe Bwayne here.
That doesn't get the torch glitch, but sets up a good double. Ooh, almost got the triple. And he's down! Time to pop in your GGs and jets, folks. He's gonna go ahead and walk over that little tiny bridge. And he's made it! Alright, Arier has finished SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 49 seconds. And not only is he first on the restream, he is first in the race altogether. And that is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely crushing it was Arier.
And I think we've got him in the waiting room. Let's see if we can get him in here for an interview. And here we have... Let's see if I can not butcher it. Arior!
Yeah, good enough. Hello.
Close enough.
How
GG.
is it going?
Can't complain, I guess. I mean, I didn't expect to win, but it was a pretty good run.
So we're... go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you happy that you found Ice Rod so quickly?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, Ice Rock Go mode is the best item in the game. That's what we all love to see in our randomizer runs. That is why we all play it. That is why racing it is super exciting. No, it's absolutely disgusting that it happens so often.
Have you tried
it makes
Ice Rod Hunt?
It makes for the most boring races, in my opinion. But in this case, it all worked out pretty well. These the top finishes were all pretty close, so that's nice.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in real quick. As we all saw, Bwayne is finishing up here we've got a time, NSRL of 1:28.48. He is actually placing third, with Shady Force placing second at 1:28.30, beating him just by 13 seconds.
Sniped.
And we'll go ahead and get Boyan in here so we can talk at you both.
GG boy.
What's poppin', everybody? How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. This was a pretty close race between you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GG's to Ari. I don't know if I've ever been on the restream against Ari, so that was pretty exciting from the start. And did not know what to do after I found that hook shot, to be honest. So it sounds like Ari took a little bit of a different path. I guess I was just too scared to leave Turtle Rock.
Yeah, you guys were lock and step.
Yeah.
The majority of the race, right up until that hookshot decision moment.
When I found Kane, I said, all right, Ari's going to find this as well. I didn't feel terrible about anything I did, and then just the combination of getting hookshot and then also getting shovel and book and just being completely paralyzed as to what is the right play, what is the wrong play. I just figured if Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock, I'm playing myself into like 30 extra checks if I don't clear it out. So I have to reclimb the mountain anyway, you know? But I definitely wanted to just go straight to Swamp because there's a lot of items right there. And hey, that worked out. And I was only a minute behind, you know, as far as SG Live points go. Pretty good result overall. So no complaints whatsoever.
So were you tempted to continue through Turtle Rock area after you found out Hookshot Cave did not have your ice rod?
Yeah, I was definitely considering it. I was mentally saying I'll just check what is in Hookshot Cave and I'll go back. But then I found the shovel on the book. So at that point, the overworld gets a few more checks and I can link it up pretty okay with Swamp Palace. So I thought that would open up enough checks and I would just hopefully not convince myself to do ice as well. I would just do those checks, do Swamp, then go back to Turtle Rock. But, you know, I luckily didn't have to make that decision after Swamp. But it was definitely crossing my mind, because the same happened in my previous qualifier race, where someone left Turtle Rock after finding progression item and then went on to win the race by 10 minutes because of the sequence of events. So yeah, it was pretty rough. It was playing in my mind all the way until I found the Astro.
So how did you guys enjoy finding both progressive gloves in Pintinton?
I didn't feel too bad about the first glove in Eastern, just because I didn't really see any way that was going to hurt me. It wasn't really a seed that made a lot of sense for someone to rush to Eastern Palace, so most people in the race probably found it right about the same time. And Pod 2, honestly, even though I didn't have much left before Pod, or when I went into Pod, it kind of just felt like I've gone around the world in one big loop, now it's time to go to Pod, and that's probably when most people got that too. So it was probably kind of on rails up until you got the mitts and started having some decisions to make. I can definitely see not going into Misery Mire after Desert and doing some of the overworld stuff before that. So that's really where I think a lot of the I don't know how the restream ended up playing out, but a lot of the racers probably diverged a lot post mitts. Early boots always nice. Can't really feel like you're wasting too much time when you've got those boots most of the game. So
For yourself.
well, I got that sword and went straight to Uncle and Escape, so that worked out pretty nicely.
That
Yeah,
was a
with-
really good choice.
With the key in Sanctuary, I didn't feel too confident to immediately go to Escape, because lately I've not been that good at the Dark Rooms, and I was like, okay, if I have to do the Dark Cross and try to go all the way to the back, I'll just die.
Yeah, well,
So-
about going back to the back. I tried with 3 hearts and didn't work
A little
out.
rough on
So-
3 hearts.
Also,
We're gonna-
well, the snake by the chest just wouldn't leave me alone. I couldn't believe
Right.
it. I took
Oh, yeah.
so much damage from that snake, and I almost just save and quit because I only had a half heart left. I said, I'm probably gonna die,
Did you
but
not
I
do
might as
the,
well try.
The boot setup for that chest.
I do not know what the boot setup was. No.
If you bonk,
Can you just
on-
bonk right in position? That makes sense. I
If,
guess.
yeah, if you bonk on the torch in the bottom right corner, it lines you up with the chest. So you can just hold up.
That's a cool setup. I don't usually have. I mean, I don't think I had a problem getting the chest. It's just that snake just kind of camped out on it. Unfortunately, I kept trying to charge a spin to get rid of him, and he'd hit me again. And I mean, I could have just quit and saved that. I don't think that it cost that much time. But yeah, I didn't want to head over to escape until at least I got a sword. So right before I was going to head over to Kakariko, getting that sword out of the hospital's closet was kind of the, all right, we better check Uncle and escape, because that's still kind of the meta now, isn't it? Just Uncle first.
Mhm.
So
And we welcome Kern to the voice chat as well, who finished with a time and a placement in the race. Mr. Scruff. Mr. Scruff, help me.
I was like, yes, he did actually have finish in the race with both a time and a placement. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very happy to have done that.
I'm glad you finished. That
Mr.
was
Scruff's the
very
one with
good.
the info. Okay, I don't have the info.
I'm
He's the
kidding. I'm
smart
kidding.
one.
All right, Kern finished 5th place with a time of 1:33.26, with lunchtime_ATH finishing 4th place with 1:31.25. So GG's, Kern.
GG.
Thanks.
We were just discussing the glove placement and how it kind of threw a couple of people off. But one thing I want to go ahead and ask you guys too, because early we saw it through all you guys. But how daunting was that early bow placement?
I was thrilled about that early bow placement. Because I like that kind of stuff, like sequence breaking the Zora ledge. And I'm kicking myself because I really should have gone to pod earlier, and I didn't really get a big payoff for having the bow in Eastern, other than the fact that I got to finish it, and maybe people might have to double dip it if the race were to narrow down later pretty dramatically. So I really should have gone into pod earlier, and I was even thinking that as I went to the Village of Outcasts. I'm like, crap, I should have gone pod first. So I could have had that much better. I'm really sad that I didn't take full advantage of that.
I've actually never done the double water walk to the ledge, so when I saw the bow up there, I was kind of feeling like maybe this is the time to try it, and I felt really actually stupid going to Eastern. If Eastern had been a crystal, I would have gone and picked it up before I went to Eastern, even though I knew that something was going to be an Eastern, not bow locked, that was going to get me some progression. But I kind of did feel a little dumb saying, well, if there's something, Armos has 2 items, and I didn't water walk to the bow, even though I know it's there, and I came over here anyway. I just didn't want to be like a long setup that I messed up, because I know how to do it, I just never have actually done it in a race. So I was definitely feeling like, Kern's definitely going to do it. I knew that. If anybody else does it and gets something out of it, I'm in trouble. So I'm glad that Eastern didn't have anything else.
I'm really glad I already had flippers the first time I went there.
I was there super early, which is actually a mistake, because I forgot. I was going up there to water walk after Ice Rod Cave, and I'm saying, as I'm stepping in the warp, wow, I can't get these items in Waterfall Cave. This is pretty dumb. So I just went to Zora, and that was it. And so that was kind of a waste of time, especially because if you just waited for Dark World, you got flippers, and you could do the whole overworld in one shot anyway. So lost a little bit of time with that routing, but worse things have happened.
So for Kern, like what put him farther behind you guys, like it really came down to just 2 things. GT big key routing. Kern went the Hope route and got to the Compass Room last, where you guys both did Dark Magician. And he killed Armos, and you guys didn't. Everything else was so the same throughout this entire race. Everybody was making the same calls over and over and over again.
So actually, sequence breaking the bow really hurt me there then, because I lost the time to double dip Zora. Well, I guess I'd have to have done that anyway. But you know what? Ordinarily when I do that sequence break and I have the pearl and the boots, I actually set it up in advance before I even know what's on the Zora ledge. But I didn't do that this time because I forgot I had them in pearl. And when I was actually setting up the sequence break, I thought it was a pearlless setup until I double checked my stuff. So I thought I was going to be fake flippering all through Zora's domain. That's what I was setting up for.
Would you have done that?
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to do. And then I was like, oh wait a minute, I have the moon pearl, and then I hopped off the ledge to activate the boots walk early.
I've done that pearlless like 1 time ever. It's super terrifying.
it's doable once you practice it and like you learn what the RNG, or it's not really even RNG, when you learn where the Zora spawn. But yeah, that I calculated it, and that going left side, like the Hope route instead of Dark Magician, like you guys did, cost me like I got a 0.94 instead of a 0.97 for this race. That feels bad.
Yeah, that's gonna matter.
Still 0.9.
Right?
That's not bad.
Oh yeah, I'm not like crying over here.
It's not like my average.
That's actually okay. That's like now that I think about it, it's actually a lot more relevant than it originally sounded. Thing.
All I'm hearing is we're winning Kern over to the best GT route that he's gonna do from now on, right?
Actually, you've convinced me because I mean, you know, I did. A lot of people know I'm a big nerd. I know
What?
that. Wayne's, yeah, right. Prince, I know so much of a nerd. And I analyzed 10,000 seeds to see how different GT routes stack up against each other. And I really should have thought of this before this race today, but the Dark Magician route is the most risk-averse route. So it's not the winningest route overall, but it is the most risk-averse. And I really should have thought of that before I decided to do Hope route.
Well,
Yeah, it's-
when
it's-
I don't actually do the actual Dark Magician, we just
The
mirror
Pink
out
Magician.
after.
After Compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the only route that it seriously can, because there's just so much meta in play with GT. You really want to look at like what are other people doing, and how do I prevent getting wrecked by what other people are doing. So going left and then right and then mirroring after Compass Room only really loses a significant amount of time against actual Dark Magician if the big key is behind Ice Armos. But against any other route, you're either saving time, if it's just on the left side, you save some time, or lose a very small amount of time. So
In my last 3 seats, I've gone full right.
full right is a thing that people can do.
It is.
If that becomes the meta, hey, we're gonna have to change my GT route. So the more people that go full right, I might have to reconsider. But
Shout outs to Falane for race and the game free by going full right.
yeah, there's been some bad history with full right, but you know that would lose. Our GT route would lose time against that. But it is
Hey, you're
interesting. It's
absolutely
one of the
right.
only places that, you know, it's very strange because Go mode is so much just execution until you get to GT, and then there's this big kind of guessing game almost. Well, there's a guessing game for everybody, I guess, including the runners. But it kind of adds this extra element, and you know you can end up saving yourself 3-4 minutes if you happen to pick a good GT route, or you can play it to just not lose 3 or 4 minutes. And it really depends how you want to play it. Just like everything else in this game, really, there's a style to suit however you want to play.
So you're saying we can make early tile room a thing?
Yeah, you could make early tile room a thing.
I mean, if
You
enough
really
people
want-
do it, right?
Exactly. It's all about
That's
getting
it.
people to follow what you're doing. So that's why we're pretending this is the best route. And now we're going to make Kern do it too. And one more person doing it. As soon as everybody's doing this route, then we can change it up. Because then the meta will be this. And we'll find some other better route that goes against this meta.
Yeah, everybody does Pink Magician, so I start doing Dark Magician or full
Exactly.
right just to win.
Hey, that's how you save time on it. Exactly.
And everybody starts copying me, and then we start doing the Hope route again.
Round
Well,
and
they-
round we go.
There is an incredibly obscure route that has been buried in manuscripts in an Egyptian tomb for thousands of years, where you start with the tile room. It's not a tile room gamble.
I have
It
it
is-
on my GT routing doc.
It's important to have on your routing doc. It is if you don't get a small key in the first 2 hope chests, then you do tile room, and it's a big brain play. Because the idea is if you get a small key or a big key in the tile room, then you can potentially gain a ton of time over most other routes.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely scenarios where going to tile room, like, not last makes sense, especially if you're still looking for a sword or a hook shot or whatever. Because the percentage of time that the item can be there is just so much higher.
I think the takeaway here for like maybe less experienced runners or people looking to get into the game is that there is not a correct route. to go through GT. There is no, this is the magic route. If you do this one, you always win or anything. It's a guessing game, and no matter what path you choose to take, you're always going to be leaving like this huge chunk of like 3 or 4 chests for the end of the route. And what makes a route strong or not strong is dependent on whether or not you're ahead and what route did your opponents take.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say that's pretty correct. The one thing I will say is a lot of people try to tailor their GT route based on where they think they are in the race. And I'll tell you from experience, it's really hard to tell where you're at in a race, whether you think you're super far behind or kind of competitive. So I prefer picking a GT route and sticking with it no matter what. I've seen people stray from their normal GT routes because they felt like they were behind, but really they were ahead by, a minute or two. And so that can get you in trouble. I prefer just sticking with the same route, no matter how the seeds go. And sometimes you're really tempted, like, wow, nobody's done yet. It must be tile room. Let's go there first. And while I have found the big key in tile room, while I've found the big key in tile room before, I've never actually big brained it where I was like, nobody's done it. Must be tile room. That's never paid off. So
the only big brain play you've made with GT Big Key was the Meyer Big Chest and Key Sanity once.
Key Sanity is a different animal, my friend. But
Right.
I should have just retired from Key Sanity right after.
And Cassidy
blame
does take down Ganon.
Yeah. So we've got Cassidy coming in. Where is Cassidy?
Cassidy
There we go.
finishes 8th overall with a time of 1:45.17.
And before that, we had... Yeah, how dare you take away my only thing I can do? Yeah, we've got Dr. Bobtastic finishing 6th place with a time of 1:37.54, and Scary Olive finishing 7th place with a time of 1:39.12. And wait, did we get Cassidy in here? Where is he?
He will not be doing an interview today, but we wish him all the GGs, all the same.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to ask about, though, guys, is nobody went to Ice Palace. Everybody said, you know what, let's do Meyer without the cane. Was Ice Palace like ever on the back of your mind, or was this always like, yeah, we're definitely doing Meyer?
You go ahead.
It was on my mind when I started looking for Ice Rod, but you're saying, I hope I don't go to ice. I don't know if there was really a great time to get to ice. Depending on how you're trying to play.
Meyer without the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, but that's not that bad of a if you're Cane Go mode, maybe it's a little different. But I mean, there were still with 3 items at large, and I guess 2 of them would have been pretty good to find in there, Cane or Hook Shot, and it's pretty quick as long as you're not sacrificing the Go mode Meyer. Clearing out and then having to come back later. You can flute right there. You can get back in a dungeon. It's not going to really ever lose you too much time, unless you're just leaving other really, really good things on the table while you go to Meyer. And I don't think there's really anything that great on the table that you're saying, I'll get to that really lucrative area later. I want to dive in Meyer without the cane. So the lateness of the mitts, the fact that Desert was empty. The fact that Boots hadn't really done anything yet too kind of played into it a little bit. So I didn't really regret that. I think over the long haul, avoiding Meyer without the cane has really caused me a lot of pain in the past. So I'll put it this way: saving Ice Palace, if Ice Palace is a crystal, for really late in the game trying to go mode it, usually ends up working a lot better than trying to save Meyer for a late game go mode. So when it's kind of time to get into Meyer, kind of feels like the game is making it very clear. And while it didn't have to be Cane, felt pretty good that it was Cane. I didn't feel like, this is going to win the race, because it's not like I was making some crazy play. Now, if I had gone into Ice Palace and found the Cane there, I would have felt a lot better about finding the Cane in a weird dungeon. But it just doesn't take that long. So if you're wrong, at worst, you're losing, maybe a minute and a half coming back through. Probably not even a minute and a half, honestly. Fluting and going through Meyer too.
If you're already there, if you're in front of Meyer and then decide to go in and then have to come back, you only lose 20 seconds.
Plus, by opening Mire, I mean, I still had one item left, and I was going to do the right side. So I opened Mire and mirrored and did the front of desert to the right side, which actually saves a little bit of time than getting that second item out of desert. So it was even more convenient, I guess, to kind of go into Mire the way that I'd done desert. But yeah, it's not going to be a big time loss. And if something's in there, you don't want to avoid going to Mire your first opportunity, because then you're like, well, I have to go do all this other stuff before I go back because I had the chance and I didn't go in. So let's go to Ice Palace and see what's there.
Yeah, it's a very mental game, because if
Yeah.
you decide not to go in, then you're just going to delay it anyway, because just one, potentially two items aren't lucrative at all, especially if you can't immediately finish it. So the longer you leave it, it's kind of like the swamp thing. It seems very tempting to do it first because there's so many items, but the longer you wait for it, the longer you want to delay it because you want to go mode it at that point. So you might as well just bite the bullet, do it, and hope that there's progression in there, and then at least you've already done it.
Yeah, game flow is a really powerful thing. When you step out of the game flow and say, I could do this right now, I'm right here, but I'm not going to. You don't actually realize sometimes how long it's going to take you before you feel good about going back. So exactly what you said. You don't go into Mire there. You might not come back until it's one of your last things, because in the back of your mind, you're going to be saying, I skipped this before. We kind of need to keep that play going. So you don't know what you're going to end up doing before you actually end up in there.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you, guys. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Does anybody have anything final they'd like to add before we do so?
That gold sword is never going to be in my inventory.
Come on, Zero Cycle Trinex is worth it, man.
Yeah, that was kind of true. I forgot about Trinex, but otherwise, maybe the lag frames even hit out. So I'm not sure.
Where was it?
Big spot.
Double.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I guess just GG's to everybody else. This was a fun race, and everybody's pretty close to each other for the most part, and it'll be a fun one to watch back. Thanks for the comms, Scruff and Koi, and trackers behind the scenes, people on the restream, everybody watching. Catch everyone next time.
Oh, yeah, we had a ton of fun.
Thanks, everyone, and see you next qualifier.
Yeah, GG's all.
Yeah, that's right. I got to find 3 more of these to play in, and we're coming down to the wire, so yikes.
Yeah, I think we have 9 more races left.
Yerp.
All right, guys, make sure that you follow these runners. They're all very fantastic players. Buane, Arier, Kern, and Cassidy Mohan. Wish them well. Give them a follow. They deserve it. Of course, our trackers were Oro and Sapphire. And I'm Koi on comms, and with me, the one, the only, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna.
Ahoy, hoy. Well, thanks for stopping by, everyone. It was great commenting and always watching these wonderful, wonderful players. Please feel free to enjoy some more of our wonderful speed gaming stuff. We've got the SG Live qualifier Zooter coming up at 8:15 later tonight. That's going to be on our Speed Gaming Prime, along with our 9 p.m. A Link to the Past daily race. We're doing a standard, so if Zooter's not your fancy and you like Link to the Past, feel free to go ahead and check that out. I'm not 100% sure if that's being restreamed or not.
Who doesn't like Suitor?
I haven't finished it yet. I don't know.
Link to the Past is clearly the superior Zelda. I think we can all agree on that, But Suitor's still tons of fun.
Of course. I just gotta get over my fear of Water Temple.
I just when I make my own seeds, you can rule out locations now. And you just rule out enough locations in Water Temple and it's never required.
I would love that. Well, thanks again to everyone watching. We're going to go ahead and end it here and hope to see y'all next qualifier.
Bye, guys.